Hey, my name's Jack, and we have three more Ascendancy classes for the Legacy of Phrecia event. We have the Daughter of Oshabi for the Ranger, we have the Antiquarian for the Marauder, and we have the Surfcaster for the Shadow, and we have an FAQ for the new idols, which are going to replace the Atlas tree. First on first, let's start with the Ranger, Daughter of Oshabi. Illuminating Wisps, +2 maximum number of Sacred Wisps, +2 to number of Sacred Wisps. I mean, these are the Wisp for the Sacred Wisp support gem, which support wonders in single target damage. It's good. It's good. Like it definitely helps out your single target damage because wonders always had problems with bosses, right? They're really good in like AoE clear. They're not good with bosses unless you like really deeply invest into certain things. Like wonders can go to the sky and above. Spell Slinging. Skill supported by Spell Slinger have 50% increased cooldown recovery rate. Oh. Skill supported by Spell Slinger have 50% reduced mana preservation. Oh my god. It has been 1,000 years since Spell Slinging was viable. So, for those who don't know, Spell Slinging is a support gem which you can add to Wonder attack. And what it does, it casts a socketed skill gem, a spell skill gem, when you hit a wand attack. That way, or when you use a wand attack, that way, you can do some fun stuff. Like you can kill enemies with your wand, and then you can use like volatile orbs. Like right, the corpses get consumed instantly by volatile dead, right? Or there's so much other fun stuff that you can do with this, like Meteor, Arc, like there's tons of like spell slinging builds that used to be amazing. Like spell slinging Detonate Dead was also very popular. This right here is absolutely build enabling, and it kind of makes me want to play a Wanda, spell slinging Wanda again for the old time's sake. Of the Magi, defenses from Kib body armor double if it has no socket gems. Oh god, here we go again with the negatives. 60% to all elemental if you have equipped helmet, glove, and then 30% max life for gloves, 30% increased movement speed for boost. So this is not good. Like 60% to all elemental resistance, like for no sockets on your helmet, is simply not worth it because purity of elements like outweighs this modifier with one skill gem socket, and like 30% increased movement speed, like that's a rare modifier on boots. 30% increased maximum life, it's not that good. You can get 15% from an implicit on a chest piece. And then defenses from body armor double, like that's great, but like no sockets from your body armor, like the 1/6 link you really need. Like this forces you into getting a two-handed weapon. And sometimes just like you can't do that with the build you want to play. This Ascendancy node is not good. Once again, they're putting in downsides for no reason. And like the upsides aren't simply good enough for me to pick this node. Forest tracking, 2% increased attack damage, 450 evasion rating, rare and unique enemies within 120 meters have minimap icons. Alright, so evasion rating 450 it's pretty high. Like let's say you have like 90k evasion, which means like you get like 200% increased attack damage from all of your evasion. Like it's not that good. It's only increases, not more, right? And like the minimap icons are nice, but you probably don't need them anyway, especially when you're like map clearing. Like all the other things just die really quick. Roots of the Grove. All damage inflicts poison against enemies affected by at least 5 grasping vines. Inflict 1 grasping vine on hit. What is the poison based on? Is it based on your hit? Because then that would be actually really, really good. Because you could make like a poison bow build with grasping vines. And then the grasping vines like slow like the enemy and they can't ever get to you, which is really neat actually. That's actually pretty good. It might be like build enabling. I think there's also some other unique items which do like things with grasping vines, so they might be able to do some stuff there. Woodland Shrines. Trigger level 20, create lesser shrine when you kill an enemy. Oh, that is really, really good. That is normally locked behind a unique item called the Goal. And what the good thing about this one is you can get any shrine, which means you can get Acceleration Shrine, you can get Invulnerability Shrine, you can get the shrine that makes you big and makes you do more damage, have you more life and stuff. This one is really, really good. Innate Blessing, gain a random shrine buff every 10 seconds. Okay, that's absolutely build enabling, like map clear stuff right here. You can definitely do some stuff where you take like these nodes and then these nodes together, and then you have two over which you really don't know what to do with. Probably like take this over here or something, but that's really good. That is absolutely, and I've seen builds like this work really well before, especially with the Acceleration Shrine buff. Acceleration Shrine is like the shrine that you want. Like action speed is extremely good. Next, the Antiquarian for the Marauder. Let's start over here. Exhibit 377 Koguran armor. Gain ward instead of 50% of armor and evasion rating from equipped body armor. That's actually really good because there's like ward loop builds, right? You can probably do some fun stuff with this, especially when you have a ward loop build. Exhibit 123 Lion's Eye Bow. Fast shot. Oh, fast shot for the Marauder. Now that's interesting. That's normally only reserved for the Dead Eye Ranger. I think that's gonna be pretty good actually on a Marauder strength-based bow build. Exhibit 390 Starlight Reflector, 100% faster restoration of ward, 100% increased global defenses. Oh, that's really good as well. Global defenses is a really rare modifier, which you don't get often, and 100% of it is really good. And then faster, like these two already tell me there's gonna be some ward like shenanigans. You have like pretty much can't die. Exhibit 24 Runic Tablet, gain adrenaline for 10 seconds when ward breaks. Oh my god, this is definitely a fucking ward loop build, like right here. These Ascendancy knows. Like, this pretty much guarantees you permanent adrenaline. Like, straight up. That is crazy. Exhibit 122 Lion Eyes Hair. Your hits can be evaded 50% reduced dexterity. I will absolutely take that. That is one of the best, like, nodes I've seen so far. Like normally when your hits can't be evaded, you can't deal critical strikes. But this one means your hits can't be evaded, which means you don't have to invest into accuracy, and you can crit. The 50% reduced dexterity is not that bad because it's only reduced, it's not less. And you don't need dexterity anyway, right? This node is really, really good. I would always take this node on any hit-based builds. Lion Eyes Shield. -1 of physical damage taken from projectile attacks. Gain 50% chance to block from equipped shield instead of the shield's value. Oh, interesting. So it replaces the block value, but does it still scale with modifiers? It probably does, right? That would make it really, really good, because 50% base block is crazy. It also sets 50% chance to block, not 50% chance to block ranged or melee. I mean, melee or spells, sorry. So this node is actually great too, in the -100 physical damage from projectile, like that's raw base damage, if I understand it correctly. I've never used this modifier, so I don't know, like, this needs some testing. Like, I don't know how good this modifier is, honestly. Because you take, like, right, you can take, like, upwards of, like, 4,000 damage, which is, like, reduced by, like, 90% armor. Like, how much does this impact? Is it, like, does it, like, get added, like, to the base damage, and then the modifications, like, come after? Kind of good thing you have to tell. 1000% increased stun and block recovery. This one's not good because it doesn't make you stun immune, right? 1000% is like a stupid amount, right? I understand, but if it doesn't specifically say that it makes you stun immune, then it's not good. You need either 100% chance to avoid being stunned, or you need stun immunity, and there's no in between. if you aren't stun immune, there's gonna be some crazy rare mob which you're gonna meet in T16s, which is just gonna come up to you and fucking like hit you like 3 times and stun you 3 times, and then you're fucking dead. That is exactly how that works. Stun, like, it doesn't matter how far the scale goes. You need to be immune. Exhibit 24, Goliath and Knuckle. You have no intelligence. Plus 150 to strength. That's interesting. Really good for a strength stacker, but I don't know. I don't know. Like 150 is like a lot, right? But then there's like Astromantis, which gives you 100 to each like stat on an amulet. I don't think like there's like certain things for intelligence, like certain like skill gems that you really need. So I don't know how good that, like how viable this honestly is. If this was like a scaling strength buff, it would be a lot better. But raw 150 is not that great. But I mean, it's amazing for leveling, right? You hit normal lap on level 33, you get 150 strength, boom. That's a lot of life. That's a lot of damage. But other than that, I don't know. In the end game, it kind of falls off. Exhibit 33, Whale Tooth Bangle, increased duration per strength, per 10 strength. You can hit like really high numbers, right? You can hit like 1,000 strength easy. That would give you 100% increased duration. That might be really good with like some fire build or something. Maybe like Magma Orb, and then you have like 100% increased duration, the Magma Orb just keeps bouncing. Definitely interesting for sure. But you need to take this note, which removes your intelligence. Overall, I think this Ascendancy is pretty good. Some interesting stuff in here for sure. Then next we have the Surfcaster for the Shadow. Let's start down here. Chilling Seasons. All damage taken from hits can chill you. The effect of chill on you is reversed. This one's absolutely cracked. This used to be a modifier on Ben's ring. I don't know what it's called right now, but it is exactly that. It reverses the effect of chill on you, which means you get faster. This one's really crazy. I kind of want to play this. Stormy Seas, 1% of lightning damage converted to cold damage. Your cold damage can shock. This one's amazing as well. Damage conversions is something they actually moved away from over the leagues. They actually nerfed a lot of like damage conversion items. This one is especially good because normally the way you do this is with an item called Badge of the Brotherhood, like something Brotherhood. It's one of the rings, and there's a lot of builds which want this, like Divine Ire, for example, is really good with this. And your cold damage can shock, just makes it even better. Especially because your shock, right, will be very high. Glacial Wave. Enemies chilled by your hits lessen the damage dealt by half of chill effect. Enemies chilled by your hits have damage taken increased by chill effect. Oh, it's lessen their damage. It's less. Oh, that's really, really good. Like, you can hit like really high chill values, right? You can hit like, I'm pretty certain you can hit 50%. This is the formula. What's the maximum? 30%? Is there like a maximum amount that you can increase? Right. That is absolutely cracked as well, for sure. Like, less damage is really, really good. That is a big defensive layer. Enemies you kill are shocked. Shocks you inflict spread to other enemies within 1.5 meters. So it's like a shock spreading effect. That's good. That's good for map clear for sure. And enemies you kill are shocked, which means it shocks, like, the enemy dies, it gets shocked, it spreads the shock. Okay, yeah, that's really good. 50% chance to freeze enemies for 1 second when they hit you. Enemies you freeze remain frozen for at least 1 second. Interesting. How does that interact with unique bosses? Will unique bosses like get affected by this, or they just like straight up immune to freeze still? I'm guessing that they're still immune to freeze, which still makes it good, especially for like rare mobs, right? And like some of the other content enemies. It's a good defensive layer. 50% chance also really high. Ghost of the Deep, you are touched by a tormented illegal fisherman. What? Granting 20% increased damage, 30% increased attack speed, 30% increased cast speed, 30% increased movement speed. This is pretty much Onslaught. I'm pretty certain this is like the modifiers that Onslaught gives you, like minus the damage. It's mediocre. It's not bad. It's not super good, right? Baited breath. All hits are critical strikes while holding a fishing rod. What? What do you mean a fishing rod? Aren't these things like stupid fucking rare? Scrambling wheels. 50% more cast speed while holding a fishing rod. Oh my god. Okay, sure. Like these notes are like really cracked, right? Like all hits are crit and like 50% more card. Like that's amazing. One problem though, fishing rods are like stupid rare. Like they're like Mirror of Kalanda rare. Like good luck getting one. And I think the stats on them aren't that great either way, right? Like, yeah, have fun with that. Sea legs, 30% to cold and lightning resistance. Critical cycling is increased by overcapped lightning resistance. Evasion rating is increased by overcapped cold resistance. That is really good, especially for like some of those unique items which do stuff with overcapped resistance. Lightning coil, Doriani's prototype, stuff like that. Pretty good. And like cold and lightning, 30% as well. That's easy. That normally takes up room on one of your rare items, so it's pretty good. And you can hit really high amounts with overcapped, and then you can double stack overcapped resistances, which is great. To get like double bonuses from a unique item and this ascendancy node. Overall, there's some really cool stuff in here. These fishing rod stuff is like, I don't know what that is all about, but maybe there's gonna be something interesting coming out of that. You can never know, but I'm especially looking forward to this side of the tree with the chill effects. There's some really good stuff in here, right? You can go over here, take these 4 nodes, then you have 4 left, and you would probably take like this node together with the shock spread or like the damage conversion. And those are the 3 ascendancy nodes which they revealed. I could go over this entire FAQ, but what I'm going to say is people are complaining heavily about idols because they love the Atlas tree, right? And they don't want it to be replaced. I understand that. But I think you gotta try something before you can cry about it, right? I think it can still, like, the problem is when the league launches and the system is actually bad, they can't take it back. I think that's what people are really scared about. And it's only being replaced during this event, right? The items don't seem so bad overall. You just gotta kind of, it's gonna be one of those high commodity items which is gonna be traded a lot. There's probably gonna be some strategy which somebody finds, which is gonna be like, oh, this specific content is really broken. Everybody's gonna buy that. That's pretty much how it will go, I think. Nonetheless, this is like, the idols seem kind of interesting either way. I think there's gonna be some good stuff in there which gonna let you customize the experience good enough for you to not like be completely poor, right? Nobody will be poor, I think. And that's that. If you like the video, like leave a like, leave a subscribe. See you around.